Coach, just mood of the team, final 3 games of the season.
I think they're, in fairness, I think yesterday guys were very down. I think when you invest hours and time for our seniors, those guys like Aaron Pitts talked about, you guys been here 5 years, invested a lot, winter conditioning, it's all the things that they invest as players and coaches, and it doesn't turn out the way you wanted. It's you are down. I think it's real. The route, the point now becomes is to be able to get yourself back up off the mat, and go out and compete, and finish the season the way we hope to finish it. But I think it'd be crazy to say that our team and staff is not down. I mean, I think that's a reality because of what the work that you put in to try to get something done. And our goal was to get in the playoffs, and that doesn't look like it's going to happen. And so I think our team was down.
Coach, especially the last couple of weeks in press conferences and I imagine other interviews as well, there have been a lot of, when a question is asked, well, what? And the answer often is, well, we're not sure, we don't know. I know you talked about your frustration last week.
I think that's fair. I mean, I think at times, to some extent, as young people, I think everybody wants to put a finger on one thing. There's got to be a problem. Well, the problem when you play a team sport, when things don't always go well, when there's 11 guys involved and coaches involved, it's not always one thing. Everybody wants the answer. I don't think there is the answer. I don't think there ever is in sports, especially of a team sport in the magnitude of football. If it was that simple, teams would never lose. There wouldn't be losing teams. So I think in fairness, when you're asking young people, or even myself, well, what is the problem? I don't think there is the problem. I think there's a breakdown here. Gave up a 3rd down pass there. Turnover there. The same things that allow you to win games. A turnover there. Touchdown catch here. So I think there are individual plays, and I think as you look at the whole scenario, but it was this play or that play, and the problem is it's never the same thing, and so that becomes the problem. And in team sports, it's usually a whole bunch of stuff, and that's where everybody gets frustrated because they want an answer. What is the problem? I've been in this business a long time. I don't think there is the problem. I think there's things that happen, plays and games, and you either make them or you don't. The last couple of weeks, we have not gotten a turnover on defense. Not one. We were leading the conference in turnover margin. Went into one game, turned it over 4 times. We're leading, I think, we were top couple in the intercept. We haven't had a turnover. We did just stop working on turnovers? No. So some of it is just, it's tough because you don't have the answer, and I'm not sure there is one. Other than there isn't just one.
Coach, what I asked the other players, what would be your grade for this team?
Well, again, I think overall, obviously, we're disappointed. You didn't get in the playoffs, so you either got in the playoffs or you didn't. And when you don't, that's not how you're graded here. That's not how we approach coaching or playing. So, you didn't get an A, and that's what you're trying to get. And so, when you don't get in the playoffs, you don't get an A. So anything else doesn't really matter. You didn't pass the test. The key becomes now is how we continue to play and do all those things. But there's points and times in the games, we really did a great job. And that's been a little bit of the thing that when you're talking about, when you put a team together, there's been some really good things and some things that haven't been so good. Why do things happen and all that? But the simple grade here is are you in the playoffs and are you playing for the championship? And when you're not, it's not acceptable. And that's just the way it is. I've been here 15 years. I know that. So I think our team knows that.
Coach, you're big on developing football players who also as young men. What do you think is a lesson that your team can learn from what happened this year?
Oh, I don't, I'm not ready to start into, we still have 3 more games left. I'm not sure, it might be a great lesson here. We win 3 in a row. I mean, I'm not ready to, I'm not sacking backs. I'm not looking at what lesson we learned from the season, because the season isn't over yet. So I'm not ready to go there yet, or I'd like to learn a great lesson and win 3 games in a row. But I haven't even gone that direction yet, in all fairness.
John, the mystique, or whatever you want to, whatever term is used, you just haven't beat Northern Iowa. I mean, do you use that for motivation this week at all, or do the players know that?
No, I think our kids are hungry. You know, I think again they're, and I think right now, I think our, just like Fitzy said, you know, it's something those guys talk about. You know, no matter who it is, you know, anytime you're playing a ranked team and you go play them and play them in their place, and you know, I think our guys have been so close, time after time after time, to the, you know, the double run into the kicker. A few years ago, to the last couple of years, you know, just I think those guys are hungry to try to, you know, go get it done. And it's obviously tougher when you're playing at somebody else's place. I don't care what place you're playing at, but I think our guys have some confidence now that maybe they've never had. Even though we haven't got the win, I think our guys believe that they can go play, and we have. And you know, you're going to have to make some plays, and you're going to have to. They've been off for 2 weeks, they'll be fresh, and all of those things, and obviously in their mind's still alive, and you know, we're going to have to handle the opening barrage, because it's going to come. And I've been there playing enough times to know it's going to happen. And our guys are going to have to stand in there and take some shots. And if we can, then it'll turn into a football game.
Has Pat Gray's been there forever?
Yeah, he's a heck of a player. You know, their whole group. I mean, this group they've pointed to 2 years, the whole offensive line of seniors, and we talk again about veteran groups. Their whole team seems like all those starter kids. I think they had 18 or 19 starters back from a year ago. So, you know, obviously a tremendous football team. And you look at their, you know, you look at in their world. You know, they're 1 or 2. They're an onside kick from, you know, again being undefeated, or a turnover. I mean, you know, you sit and look at what. You watch the films of their games. I mean, they're 1 play in 1 game in each game away from, you know, having only 1 loss, and really 1 play there from being completely undefeated in Iowa. So, you know, when you look at plays, how they can change your whole season and your record, you know, they have lived a little bit.
You still feel good about this team?
Oh, sure. I'm no different than anybody else. I think you have goals and aspirations and visions, and you know, I'm no different than anybody else. Invest hours and time, and you know, just again for everyone involved. It's truly our seniors. You know, we were trying to get to the playoffs, and that was the goal. And but I think this team again, you know, a little bit back to Chad's, but I don't think it's time. You know, we got 3 football games left. I'm not ready to surrender or sack bats or throw in the towel or any of that. I think our guys will rally up, but I think it's fair to say that, you know, as I stated earlier, I think everybody yesterday was obviously down. I mean, why wouldn't you be? If it meant anything to you, and I think that game meant a lot. That locker room was silent as it could be. But we had 48 hours to rally back up, and we better not be too down when we go to Northern Iowa, because they don't care. You know, I know where we're headed to play, and we've got to get our guys ready to roll.